Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Oh, it's a nice day here today. The sun is shining. It's cold, though. I just let my girls out, so I may have to excuse myself at some point because they're going to be at that back door barking because it is cold. We got some fresh snow. It's a pretty day. But I want to show you today what I've been working on. I'm working on my personal December daily, and I'm making a tag. I want to show you how I'm putting a tab, not a tag, but a tab using a tag, how you can incorporate paper with your material. And I'll show you, I've got nothing to show you. Oh, I'm going to be working in my girlfriend's journal. We're going to be doing, this is the front cover I did the other day. Today we're going to be working on the inside pocket and the back pocket. So it's going to be a busy day. I'm going to try to get all of this done. But let me show you a few things that I've done in my December daily first. You've seen all of that. You've seen that. You've seen that. That was the tree. That's where we went and cut the tree. And then I tucked the extra photos in here. So that was day 3. And I'll talk to you a little bit about my numbers. I put my December prayer on this side. I wrote a nice little letter, a Christmas letter with some memories on it. And I tucked that inside there. And that goes in there like that. And then I believe I showed you Mary, and I did some journaling there. And then I used the 4th right here. I made a nice little, I like using these tags as tabs. I think they're coming out really cute. And then this is what I did this morning. It's probably glary because these are glossy photos that I ran off. But on the 5th, it's all about my Christmas tree, my 2 trees. This is the one that we've used for many years. This is our artificial tree, and we have this in our dining room because it's a vaulted ceiling, and I think this is about 12 feet tall. This stays up all year round, and then I just take the decorations off. I leave the lights on, and it's just nice through the year to have this lit. And then this year, I wanted a real tree again, so this is a cute little tree that we got. This is only about 6.5 feet tall, and it's about 4 feet wide. And I wanted to do a very nostalgic tree, so I have all my mom's Shiny Bright bulbs on here from when I was growing up. And I have her homemade decorations. She also used to decoupage eggs. She would blow a real egg out, and then she would coat it white, probably with gesso or some sort of paint. And then she was the fussy cut queen back when I was growing up because she bought Hallmark cards and she did a lot of fussy cutting, very small images. And that's what went on, the little eggs. I should probably show you sometime the eggs that she used to decoupage. And they're on my tree. I have tinsel down over here because I'm very upset with myself. I have 25 boxes of real lead tinsel that I took. We had a box of 50, and my brother and I split them. He took 25 and I have 25, and they are in my basement. I cannot find them, but before Christmas arrives, I will find them, and I'm going to put tinsel on this tree, and then I'll take another picture of that. And then I used this. I had created this the other day. I was going to use it, I believe, on the front cover of Lee's cover. If you remember, I spoke about putting it up here and I didn't like it. So I cut this in half and I used it as a little tab, which I thought came out really cute. And then, so now we're over to December 6th. And again, it's the 5th and the 6th. It's all about the Christmas tree because we put it up. I put the lights on it. I decorated it. And then I took these pictures of the tree, and just some little ornaments. This is some of my favorite. These are my boys that I got when they were little. I got Rudolph and I think it's Clarice, right? His girlfriend. So I ran that photo off and I just made a cute little tab, and I'm not writing on the back. I'll probably stamp on the back the date of it, but I'm not using it as a journaling card. I just want to use it as a remembrance. And then I took another picture of some of the other ornaments that have, meaning to me. We have a lot of old world ornaments, and this is of the Empire State Building in New York City, and we have Big Ben in England. We have the Eiffel Tower over here. These are all places that either we've been as a family, or my boys went, or I've been to. The boys went to the Eiffel Tower. They went to Paris. We've all been to England, and we always used to, before it got too rough, till COVID hit, we would go to New York City at least 3 times a year to catch a show, shop, just get away. And then we have a little Peter Rabbit down here. That's my son, because when he was a baby, he was given Bun as a gift. And then their baby's first Christmas. So there's just a few little things in here that have special meaning. And then I just took, when I made the pocket here of this vintage, I used this really cool vintage style paper. What I had left over, I just clipped a little square and I made a cute little tab for the side. And then this is one of Mrs. Cogg's larger sayings. And I just made a little pocket out of that. I just glued the 3 sides, and then this is all Tim Holtz ephemera. And then I'm going to write on the back of here about some of the ornaments, and that tucks right in there like that. And then the photos in here. I really like the idea of using this as a December daily, December junk journal / scrapbook. And I really, really like putting the photos in here. Then I don't have to go back and do a scrapbooking page of the holidays. Now we have our December 6th prayer in here. Let me see. Yeah, that's the 5th. So I put the 6 here. So we have that there, my prayer. And then on this side, I opted to not use the 6 day that comes in. That this is from Vintage Studio 717. So I'm kind of picking and choosing because I just wanted to use the Psalm verse here with December 6th. And then I have these little items, pockets and journaling cards. I'll write more memories in with decorating the tree. And then this is a sweet little piece I put together. I took a picture of her. And again, this is where December 7th, I'll do more about the decorating and what I watched that day. I watched some old Dragnet episodes, and I watched Ozzie and Harriet. So, I'm just going to write some memories here. And this one here I wanted to show you because I really do like these tags that Vintage Studio 717 puts out. I love them. I think they're so pretty. They even look like they've been crinkled and used. I don't know if you can see that. There's little lines in them. And to me, this is just the essence of a vintage style Christmas, the images on here. So I just kind of wanted to show you different ways that you can use your number tags. Sometimes they come in round circles. You don't always have to just, stick them on a page. There's different ways that you can use them. And this one here, I just used my paper punch, punched a hole, and then I threaded this ribbon. It's almost like a very stiff ribbon up through, and I just kind of like a like a, I don't know what you call it, like a bell pull, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. So I thought that was a cute idea. And then this one here, I really like this here, the way I did that. I wanted to share that with you. And then on this side here, of course, my paper's crinkling. This is plain white, so I have journaling to do, and I'll journal on here, and then I'll attach. I'm going to journal on both sides, but then I'll attach that on there. And then this will all be about December 8th, what I did on the 8th. And then yesterday on the 9th, I took my daughter-in-law. We went out Christmas shopping all day, and we have a very cool place about, I'd say 45 to 50 minutes from where I live. And it's 30,000 square feet, this shop. And it's just like ornaments and houseware and fudge. I mean, this shop is on steroids. And I told Mara, if you can't find it here, they don't even make it. Because if you want it, they have it. And it's just a really fun. We were here for, I bet you, 2 hours browsing and looking around. And this is where I buy all my old world ornaments. And they've got great boxes of candy, well-known brands, and just jewelry galore. They have the Pandora jewelry. They have beautiful things in there. They have a huge section of greeting cards. I got special Christmas cards there for some special people this year. So I'm tucking that photo in here, and then on this side, I'm going to, this will be all journaling again, and I'll do it on a separate piece of paper. But this is the tag. I wanted to do something fun on here. And that's the other thing I want to tell you. If you work in your December dailies and there isn't much that goes on, I mean, because every day you're not busy. And I don't know if you want to talk about, you just don't want to talk about anything. You can just decorate your page. You can make an oversized tab for the side of your page. And, I just think that's kind of fun. So, I mean, I'll have the photo on this side, and then I'll have this really pretty tab over here. And then I can write here. I'll probably use this graph paper. Like right here, I'll have a larger piece, of course, but I'll use some graph paper and I'll write whatever I want to. Or you could move this down a little bit or leave it in the middle. You could also put it in the center and use it as a belly band, a small little belly band, and then you could put whatever you want to in there. But I'm going to use it as a side tab. But I wanted to show you how you can use these really nice, your paper pieces, and incorporate them with your cloth tabs. So all I did was, this is a nice sturdy piece of canvas. It's the same canvas that I've covered the book with, and it frays really nice. So you're just going to rip. This is easy to rip. You don't have to, most of your material, you can just take a little snippet and rip it. Snip it and rip it. And then I have a fun piece of crocheted doily. This is off of the end of a tablecloth. So I took a snip of that. This here, I've been incorporating this fabric, and I leave the little frays and the little pieces of threads. I leave them on because I like them hanging. I think it just has a cool look. So I'm going to place that there. Then I'm going to put this underneath. I think I did take a picture of this so I remember how I did it. And I think I'm going to take, just a minute here. Okay. All right. And let me find my photo, because I want to do it right. I mentioned that the other day. If you do something and you have to take it apart and redo it, take a photo of it. So it looks like, yes, I have the polka dot over this. And then, and again, I just took a piece of fabric and I ripped it, and then I threaded it through, pulled it through a little bit because I do want this burgundy to show. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stitch on my machine. I'm just going to make a little stitch and adhere that. And then I'm going to put that right about here. Then I have this little black piece that I will put here. And then this is another little saying, and I'm going to put that here. So now I just have to figure out, I know I'm going to want to sew. I'm going to step away and I'm going to stitch around here. Then I think I will put this on, and I think I'm just going to run one stitch down here to hold that. And then this here, I will maybe stitch around here. And then this I will most likely glue on. I won't stitch that like I did the other one. So I wanted to show you those, what I'm going to be doing there. And again, the 6 and the 8 I'm not using, but I just want to show you how pretty these are. And again, it's Vintage Studio 717, and I'll put that in my description. But I highly recommend any of her Christmas digitals because they're just really, really pretty. So I'm going to step away. I'm going to stitch this, and then we'll get this in the book. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the inside of the other Christmas journal. Well, I have it stitched. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. I have it all stitched, and I'm going to just leave. You will see here where when I didn't bother to go across here because this is going to be covering that up somewhat. And I just stitched around. I wanted to meet the line with this. I didn't want to come right straight down. I wanted to come across. And I knew this wouldn't be seen here because this little tag would be covering it up. And then this I stitched on separately. All right. I did come down around, you can see, to hold that. But I'll just get some of these little whimsy things out. I want them hanging. I'm not, you'll notice a lot of times you know how I work. I like to pull these threads through. This I want all of this hanging on this one. So this I'll do it now. I'm going to just run one stitch, a straight stitch right up along there, and I may bring it up that way. I don't know, we'll see. And then we'll glue this on. So I'm just going to move, going to swivel around and do this. I'm sure there's something that you can do while I'm stitching this. And I am only going to do, I'm not going to stitch it up this way. I'm just going to leave it right here. I think that will be fine. If you want, here's a good little tip. If you want to see what it would look like coming up through there, you could always hold your thread. And I don't like that. I just think it's off balance because of this side. So I'm just going to leave this. This one I will pull through, just so it's just an even stitch there. I don't need these little threads hanging. I just want them hanging off of the material themselves, all right? there. And then this, I'll tie real quick. So during this little break, before I, as I stepped away and turned the camera off, I looked at the time and I knew it was a little bit later. And I had planned on making this video in its entirety and then heading down to my kitchen, but it was close to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I knew, family dinner is tonight, and we would be eating a little bit earlier because my one son will be home from his program that he's participating in before 5. And on Fridays, we try to eat a little bit earlier. We normally have dinner between 6:30 and 7 because I like to wait for my son to come home from his extracurricular during the week. And I don't like him eating alone. And then on Fridays, we can eat earlier. So I had to get my spaghetti sauce on. It's actually, today we're having you call it a Sunday gravy. That's what the Italians call it, Sunday gravy. And there's sausage in it and chicken and homemade meatballs. So I wanted to get that on. And then I wanted to get my bread machine going because you have to have homemade bread, hot crusty bread, when you have spaghetti and meatballs. And then I'll just make a quick tossed salad before dinner. So dinner is on and it's cooking. All right, so we have that on there. And then seeing that this is just a little square down here with nothing, I think I'd like to try to put either a little piece of holly or something. I'll get my Tim Holtz out. I have these separated by size. So I always look for something. These must be all my long. These are my long sayings, so I don't need that. Let's see. Again, I could put a snowflake. I think I'm going to put a snowflake. And I have some thread here already done. So we'll just do this real quick. All right. And in all fairness, for those that do not have a sewing machine, I apologize I apologize to you for constantly showing you, this is crazy, Barbie, pieces that are stitched on. You do not have to stitch these. You can use your Fabri-Tac and you can glue these all down. And you can slow stitch, just stitch it by hand. This is, wonderful handwork that you could do at night in front of the TV. And I think maybe in January, I can do a video I can do some more slow stitching. I know Rachel over at Roxy Creations, she does a lot of slow stitching with her viewers. And I just don't know if anyone is really interested in seeing that. And I don't want to duplicate. Like, I could just send you over to Rachel at Roxy Creations, and you could watch, you could search her videos for slow stitching. Some people like it. They say that it's relaxing for them to watch it. There, I think that's cute. But again, I don't, there's so many wonderful videos out there. I don't want to, if it was a challenge, that would be, something different. If I participated in all the challenges that girls do, that would be different, showing you the same thing, just a different style. But slow stitching is just slow stitching. So there's that really cute little side tab. So let's get that in my book. Let's find the page that is going to go on. And we're going to put that right there. And, also remember, I stitch my signatures in, and then I work on them. I create them and I design them. A lot of girls design all their pages first, get it all done, and then they sew their signatures in. I guess it's just preference. And this is where if you do like stitching on your tabs, you wouldn't want to sew your signatures in. You'd want to keep them separate. And on this here, I do want this to come just like this. So there's a little bit of overhang here, but I don't have that overhang. So what I'll do is I'll start to glue this on, and then I'm going to press it on from this side here instead of putting it on over here. That way I will be able to see how far this will be going over. So there's another little tip. And I think I'll start on this side here. And then that way it's not, that the back stitching isn't showing when I flip this. Just a little bit of that. That's cute. That's a cute tab. And then it adds just a nice little touch to this page as well. I don't get any glue on that photo. So I'm going to leave this open. So there's that tab. And then I will take a nice piece of that green grid paper and I will cut it out. And then I will do my journaling here, and I can do some journaling on the back, or I could make another tag to journal on. But there's that tab right there with the paper and your material. So we're going to set that aside. And now I'm going to work on the inside cover. I'll probably just do one side and then I'll do the back of the book off camera because I don't want to take too much time, but I'll show you again because this is already, the paper's on here, and I will be gluing this on here, but I want to show you again, it's going to be similar to what I did with the front cover, how you can work with material and make a nice, I want to make a nice pocket here using this material here for the inside front cover. Now, I know it's kind of plain up around the top here, and I'm thinking I might like to do something up there. I'm not sure what yet. But I do have an idea. My girlfriend Shar, my neighbor, she gave me this wonderful, I think it's a rice paper, and she used this in creating one of her sculptures. This is a scrap. And I do know, because this is so natural with the birch trees and all that, I would really like to incorporate this at the top of this pocket. I think it would be really, I just think it would add quite a bit to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is, that has a natural tear right there, so I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to glue this on only for the fact I'm going to put actually I may just put a small piece of tape because I'm going to stitch the material over this. So let's set this aside because you have the idea of what I'm going to do. And I think because this is paper, maybe I will just get a little bit of Yoo-Hoo on here. Just so I can see what I'm working with. So I think I'm going to put this side here. And I'm going to put it down towards the bottom, I think. Only for the fact that when I'm stitching, my needle won't be going through the glue, a lot of it. Okay, so I have that on there. All right, and then I'm going to, I am going to be using this real pretty, this material right here. I think this is very pretty. So we are going to make a little, and I also have this really pretty ribbon. I'd like to incorporate this as well. This says Joy Botanical Noel with the pine cones on there. I think that's really pretty. So I have to keep in mind I want to rip and tear this white strip off. So I'm going to move this over a little bit. All right. And I want to make sure I have enough, but I don't want to have too much because I don't want to waste it. All right, so we have that. I'm going to rip top of this. And we'll get this. I think right about this. All right. So that will be the front. And I do want to measure that. Just keep in mind, I have to keep in mind the interior, how it's going to fold. So I made this a little bit, this is 5 inches right here, this card. And again, I do not care if it overlaps a little bit or it runs down the bottom. I think it gives it a really fun look. So that's going to be just fine. If it folds over onto itself a little bit, that's okay. So that's going to be the base for our pocket. And I'm really dying to use that. That's too big. That I want to put on my book. Then I thought we could use, I think this is really pretty. So I'm going to just clip these letters off a little bit. And now there's one thing you could take this and wrap it around. All right, I don't want to do that. But I think I will trim it a little bit. I really like using my pinking shears because I think it just gives it a fun little edge. And we're going to cut this right about here. So I'm going to get a couple little pieces here. I may move this down a little bit. May make a secondary pocket. We'll see what transpires here. I don't know what direction I'm going in. I know I'm going forward, but that's it. Hi, Belly. Hi, baby girl. Okay, all right, so we have that there. And what's next? How about we could use some lace trim. I could make a small little, I could just stitch here, and this could be a cute little pocket. So if that was a pocket, I could put in the front, I could put a cute little card like that or something. So I think we'll keep that. We'll do that. We'll make this a little pocket. And I'm going to have this overlap just a little bit. Okay. So we will put that on there. All right. I still want, I think this looks a little plain up here. So let's see what we can do up there. I can go back to my old standby. I love this rickrack, but I'm running a little low on it. I mean, we have that. I don't know if I'm crazy about it. That might be too bulky. So I think I do like the red up there. So I think maybe we should do something in red. I have that. I'm not crazy about that. Let me see if I have something I could put that on though. Maybe it's the botanical that isn't really doing it for me. Let's see here. Put that there. I think I like the green better. I think I like that green a little bit better. And yeah, I like that. And then maybe I could take some of that gold tulle here, because this is kind of a plain, somewhat of a plain page. Okay. All right, so that will go there like that. And I have the gold tulle. I also have this cream colored instead of the white. Let's see. Let us see. I'm going to cut a little. Oh, let's see here. Maybe I could wrap. Let's move this so you can actually see what I'm thinking. Maybe I could wrap that in that like that. Oh, that's pretty. And put that on there like that. Oh, I like that. And then I can stitch each side of that, stitch here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change my machine out with gold thread. I have some pretty gold thread, and I think that would be really pretty if I stitch that. So let me change that out. I'm going to stitch this, and then we'll be back and put it inside the front cover. Well, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. This time around, I lost the battle, but I'm not going to lose the war. So this is what happened. I put my gold thread in, and it was a little too coarse, so it kept breaking once I started sewing. But it's really pretty gold thread. So either I didn't have my tension right, my bobbin tension or whatever. I didn't want to fool around with it. So I went back to step one. I put my creamy color thread back in, and you could see it. It was just way too much. It was too visually prominent on the top here. So I had to rip all of that out. You'll see where I tried to zigzag. Then I did it again, and I ended up covering up this gold, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that, because I had to make sure that the green ribbon was adhered so it didn't flop around inside the tulle. So I'm like, okay, that didn't work. So I ripped that out. And then in the meantime, I said, you know what? I think I just have to glue this down. So I wrapped it, and I glued the tulle to the back of this. And I'm now going to glue this on. I'll decide which way I want it to go. I think I want a little bit more tulle on the top. So this may be the way to go. Could bring that up like that. And then down here, I stitched this down, this little bit of crocheted lace, so I could have a nice pocket. Then I realized that when I stitched it, it was actually hanging over. So I have to adhere this. I'd like to adhere, I think I need to adhere this down, but maybe I don't. We'll see. So I'm a little frazzled here, like my material. and it was just a real crazy, just a bunch of craziness going on over here in my corner of the world. So I'm just going to pull this through, and I pulled that one through. This here I don't want hanging out and about. I do want to make this a little cleaner. So I will pull that one. I will get this one. Yeah, sometimes I just have those days. I feel like I've been working on this for 2 hours and I've really gotten nowhere, but all right, so I've got those pulled through. And sometimes you just have those days. You just have to muddle through with one foot in front of the other. And I'm just going to leave those like that. I'm just going to snip these right down. Okay. All right. So I think this pocket will be okay to stick a little something in. All right. So this here, I'm going to glue onto this. I just want to make sure I have the right side. Yep, the right side. And I think I'm going to do it this way. So yeah, it's just one of those crazy days. I'm glad this is all happening on a Friday, though. I can't imagine if this was my Saturday or Sunday. I would feel like I got nothing accomplished. Okay, get that on there. All right, so that's on. I'll move that up just a little bit because I want to cover more of that top part with the tool. Okay. All right, so there's that. All right, we'll let that set a minute. And then the only thing I have to make sure of is this pocket will be okay. I'm just going to use this little tag to make sure that, yeah, that'll be good. I'll be able to put a little something in there. All right, so let's get this in the book. Man, what a fiasco. What a fiasco today. And to think I have to do this again on the back side. So I'm also wondering, I think I'm going to add a little piece of double-sided tape on the bottom of this. I just don't like the way, I know my girlfriend, when she gets it, she's going to look and see if she can do something, you know, with that. They came for dinner 2 nights ago, and I showed her the completed journal that I have, and the one that's I have in my Etsy shop, but I think after Christmas I'm going to take it out. It's not, I don't think anybody's interested in it. So I'm going to take it out and save it for myself for next year. But I showed her that the other night. She wanted to see it, you know, all done. And oh, she absolutely loved it. And she goes, I love the Christmas gnomes. And of course I'm making the animal one for her. So I'm almost tempted, if that doesn't sell, I'm tempted to put both of them in a box. And I'm just going to tell her, just pick. Just choose which one you want. I'll let her decide. I think that may be the route that I'm going to go. And then she's going to say, of course, I can't decide because I like them both. And then I'm going to say, okay, well, just pick one for now. And then I think what I'll do is I'll set whatever one she doesn't take. I'll set that aside and give it to her next year. And that'll save me a whole lot of work too. That'll save me a whole lot of work. And I have to remember I can't, because this is also going to be a pocket, so I don't want to glue the whole backside, just around the edges to hold it in place. And again, I'm working from the bottom here. There. And like I said, I don't care that this comes over. I'll trim it a little bit. And I may not even use this as a pocket. I may just put a little decorative something in there. I did stitch around this. I think I said that before. And then we have a pocket. And then I will make a tag, so we'll have a nice pocket for in here. And I will make I may incorporate, if I'm giving this to her, some of the gnomes. Maybe I'll put the kissing gnomes in here or something. Then she can have the best of both worlds. And then down here, we're going to add, see, I can put, won't be that big, but I can add a cute small little tag or something to put down in there. I'll make a long one for her. And again, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just add something cute down there. Glue a little, I can put a little saying in. That might be the way to go. Because I have these. Jack Frost. Jack Frost is cute. So I could actually put a little saying around here. I like the peace on earth. Let's play with this for a minute, and then we'll call it a video. And I can finish the back. I'm just cutting off of camera. Do something like that. And really like to do something up on top here. I could add that. That would be pretty up here. And that would make it a little bit more complete. I do like that up there. So let me cut that down. I'll glue this in, and then I'm going to be on my way. And just pass that Noel. And then I'll do the back. And so I want to thank everybody for joining in. I hope it wasn't too chaotic today. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. That way YouTube knows if I'm doing my job, and they can help promote me. And I'd love to have you subscribe because I'll be having a lot more fun, informative videos on what to do and what not to do, how to fix mistakes, and if you have a bad day, don't sweat it. If you have a good day, enjoy it. I do these videos for fun. I'm crafting anyways. And if I can pass on any wisdom to you, I feel very fortunate that I can do that. If it's things that you already know, God bless you. I think it's wonderful. There's so many very, very talented people out there that have wonderful ideas, and I don't get to see as many videos as I'd like to. It's very hard sometimes when you record and to see everybody's, you have to have a life out of the craft room too. So I do my best in watching as many videos as I can of other crafters because I really enjoy them. So, all right. So there is the front. And we worked in my book today. So I really appreciate it, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for commenting. And I'm going to continue this, and I will give you an update, and I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.